Welcome everybody to our March Sew and Tell. My name is Lynn Washington. I'm the manager of our Littleton store. I'm glad to be back showing stuff off today. I'm sorry I had to miss last month, but we've got a lot of great projects. I was thinking about it earlier this week, and it's really hard to believe that we've been doing this virtually now for a whole year. Where has the year gone? So we've got some great projects from OESD and ANITA Good Design to show you this month. Our first design this month is a review from last month. It's by Scissortail Stitches, which is the sister company of OESD, and it's called Birthday Wishes. We did have the apron last month, but I made some changes to it, added a couple things, stitched out a towel to go with it, so I think it will be really fun to see exactly what we did. So we had the apron last month. I added a couple fun adornments to the apron. I had these ruffles cut out. I finished the edge with the rolled hem on the serger and then used the gathering foot, and it just gathered the ruffle right up, stitched it on. I think it really added a lot to the apron. And then I also had a package of Kimberbell ribbon. I added some heart ribbon to the top of the apron. So we have kind of a fun thing we're going to try in the Littleton store. Since we have the happy birthday apron, when it's somebody's birthday in the store, they get to wear the apron every day, which will be really funny because it is a child-size apron. So we'll see how that works. And then to go along with the apron, I also stitched out the towel. I just love the happy birthday cupcake. I stitched it on one of the Kimberbell towels. You're going to see these a couple times throughout our presentation this month. I added the ribbon to the bottom of it, so this is just kind of a fun. I have a friend with a birthday next month, and I'm just going to give her this cupcake happy birthday towel for her birthday. So this is Birthday Wishes by Scissortail Stitches. Another disc from last month is Shannon Roberts' Love. It's by Scissortail Stitches also. It was a design disc that was made to look like blackboard. So Rosemary in the Arvada store stitched this out. It says, "Love you to the past the moon." On this, she stitched using matte thread and then also some metallic thread. So it gives it some real pop. And I love the fabric that she used. It looks like planets and the moon, and it's just perfect for the design. So this is Love by Shannon Roberts. It was a really popular disc. It had some great designs on it. Scissortail Stitches. Rosemary also created this very elaborate design dress using the honey gnomes from OESD. This was available last month, and she made this darling project. She used the border along the bottom of the dress. She put a variety of gnomes and the flowers on there. She has organza on the wings, so there's a little bit of sparkle. She has decorative stitching around the sleeves. There are rolled hem on the serger rolled hem on the tie on the back, and all the rickrack. This is definitely a labor of love. And again, this is Honey Gnomes by OESD. Another fun seasonal disc by OESD is Lots of Luck that they came out with for St. Patrick's Day. And this towel was created by Brenda in our Arvada store. In addition to the embroidery design Brenda put on the towel, she also added some decorative stitches from the Creative Icon just to add a border on the towel. And I love how she made use of all of the towel's real estate by adding a Love You More design on the back of it from Shannon Roberts' Love disc that we showed just a minute ago. So this is Lots of Luck. It's by OESD, and it was made by Brenda in the Arvada store. Our next project is by ANITA Good Design. It's called Quilts on a Clothesline, and it was created by Rosemary at our Arvada store. She also used a bonus disc from ANITA Good Design called Sewing Notions. So she used the clothesline, Quilts on a Clothesline. It's a quilting in the hoop project by ANITA GOODESIGN. I love the fabric that she used for her borders. It's got pins on it. So she has the quilts on the clothesline, the sewing notions, and then she also used one of the built-in quilting patterns built into the luminaire to quilt around the outside edge of the design on the sewing notions. So she incorporated a lot of techniques in this really fun sewing wall hanging. Our last disc from the previous month is Stand Tall by OESD. It's a disc of pineapples, which might sound a little funny, but it was just a very fun disc. Some really fun designs, had kind of a tropical feel. I probably would have stitched out all of them if I'd had time. I did have time for only one of the designs. I used the Kimberbell tote and I stitched the design on the bag. The great thing about Kimberbell totes is when you purchase them, the tote doesn't have the side seam stitched. So it's just a flat piece of fabric. You can easily hoop it, stitch the design, and then you just sew up the side seams and the tote is done. So this design, I did stitch using matte thread. You all know how much I love the matte thread. I just love kind of that flatter finish that you get with it. And I found a really pretty fat quarter at the Littleton store that I used for the lining. It had kind of that tropical feel to go with the pineapples. We actually have we're planning on taking a trip with some friends to Hawaii next year. So I thought this would be a fun bag. I could give it to Jenny and we could have it when we go to the beach or out doing something fun during the day. So Stand Tall by OESD. Our next project is by ANITA GOODESIGN. It is called Crazy Stitch Clutch, and this is a clutch that is sewn entirely in the hoop. So all of the stitching, you create all the pieces, the front, the back with the quilting on it, and then the flap, and then you stitch it all together to have this fun in the hoop project. This came from our Aurora store and I just love the bright colors, kind of that fiery look it has, the beautiful batiks. So this is Crazy Stitch Clutch by ANITA GOODESIGN. Amber at our Aurora store created this next project. She used Believe in Unicorns by Ann Lauer. It's very typical Ann Lauer, the bright colors. It's fun to incorporate some metallic thread. The design has the filled-in patterns as well as some open patterns. Amber on this used some fabric that they have in the Aurora store called Spotted, which is a perfect background for the unicorns, and then she outlined them with metallic thread. It just has really kind of a mystical look. It's just a fun pattern. It would be great for kids, or unicorns are very popular right now and everybody loves Ann Lauer's designs. So this is Believe in Unicorns by Ann Lauer and OESD. Tapestry zipper bags by OESD is our next project. This is just really a fun project. 3 of them were created by Rebecca at the Aurora store, and Becky in the Littleton store made one of them. And these are entirely in the hoop, and the decorative stitches are what create the tapestry look on the bag. So these are done in the hoop. You iron fusible woven to the back of the fabric. You hoop a piece of tearaway, and then you will place your fabric and your zipper in the hoop and do all the stitching. So when Becky finished this, she said she really enjoyed making the project, but next time, instead of using tearaway as the stabilizer, she would use no-show mesh because it's just really kind of stiff when it's done. She did hers on denim, and then Rebecca in the Aurora store made these other 3 she got a new Creative Icon sewing machine, so I am sure she had a lot of fun using the machine and creating these beautiful bags. This one has metallic thread on it, and this, I love how bright it is. And then she's got this other one with just a fun shape. These bags have 3 styles and come in 2 sizes. So you have a larger and a smaller size. Becky said this one was perfect. She has the OESD point turner, which she loves. And she said this would be a great bag. Her point turner fits in it, some scissors. So if you're taking a sewing class, this would be a perfect bag to transport some of your sewing notions. So this is Tapestry Zipper Bags by OESD. OESD is well known for their freestanding projects, and this one is no exception. This was created by Megan in our Aurora store. The rocket ship is very realistic looking. It has vinyl for the windows. It has a little stair to get up into it. It has the flames coming off at the bottom, like it's taking off. It's just a great project. How this is done is you create in the hoop a variety of pieces, and then the pieces are sewn, either sewn or buttoned together to create the whole rocket ship. So this is another one of OESD's fabulous freestanding projects, and this is Freestanding Rocket Ship. Illustrations by Ali K Designs and Scissortail Stitches is one of our next projects. This design is beautiful because it's all single color, so it's very elegant and yet very easy to create because you only have one color of thread for each of the patterns. This was done using some of the fabric from our Littleton store. We got a new shipment of fabric in that we had picked out, so I had to try to figure out something that I could use the design. So on the design disc, these are all stitched out in black, but I love this kind of periwinkle fabric, and it has this darker purple and this beautiful thread that matched perfectly. So I stitched out the designs and created a table runner for my, maybe for my house, maybe for somebody else, I'm not quite sure. But this is spotted fabric, has a little bit of metallic in it. It's very beautiful. And then Terry took the same design and she made a set of napkins. So she used one design for 2 of the napkins and then another design for the other 2 napkins. And what an elegant way to set a table with these beautiful napkins. It's just a very versatile design disc. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it. And it's quick and easy because it's just a single color. So this is Illustrations by Ali K Designs and Scissortail Stitches. Kitty Kitchen by Scissortail Stitches and Vicki York is our next project. We have some towels, which is something that you would probably think about doing with Kitty Kitchen. Becky did something very clever with her sample. This is a set of Kimberbell towels. And when you buy the Kimberbell towels, you get one towel that's polka dot, one towel that's stripe. And what she did was she cut the towels up the middle, she sewed them back together on her serger, and then went back and did the embroidery over top of the middle of the towel. When she got it done, she thought it was a little plain, so she has some fun Kimberbell fabric. She serged the edge with a rolled hem, gathered it up, and created a ruffle on the bottom of the towel. So we have the measuring spoons, which are very cute, and then we have the coordinating measuring cup towel to go with it. So we have those 2, and then Sue, funny how it works when there's a design, how often we duplicate the design. So Sue in our Aurora store also made a towel. She used a flour sack towel with red trim down it and also stitched out the measuring cups. My project, I tend to kind of overthink things. So my project ended up being much larger. Part of it was because, again, we got beautiful fabric at our Littleton store, and I had to try to figure out a way to use some of the really pretty fabric. So I created several blocks, put them together with the gold sashing, added the orange trim, and then have the really pretty blue around the outside edge of the design. So all of these are done kind of different colorways, but it's a fun to see how all of the different designs are used by people. This is Kitschy Kitchen from Scissortail Stitches. So we do have the design discs in the store. If you're unable to get to the store and you would like these designs, if you go to our website, on the website there's a tab that says products. If you scroll down through the products, there will be embroidery. So if you click on embroidery under products, that will take you to a link. The link will take you to the OESD website, and then you can order the designs from there. So we have the discs in the store, or you can order them from the OESD website through our website. And you will just have as much fun with all of these as we've had. Before we get to our last project, I just want to tell you about a couple of the notions that were used in making the samples. The first one is one of my favorite products. This is called Fusible Woven. It's by OESD, and it is a stabilizer. So what you're going to do anytime I do embroidery on just a piece of cotton fabric, I always back it with a piece of fusible woven. So this is a woven fabric, has iron on. I iron it onto the back of the fabric. It gives it some stability without adding a lot of bulk, and it just makes my embroidery look so much prettier when I'm done. It eliminates puckers. It really makes it nice to work with. So this is Fusible Woven by OESD. It comes in this 20-inch roll and then also a 15-inch roll, and we carry it at the store. It's amazing. You will definitely, once you start using it, you'll wonder why you waited so long to do so. So Fusible Woven. On one of the next projects you're going to see, I made a seed packet, and I didn't want to stitch it directly on the apron, so I stitched it on a piece of fabric, and I cut it out. I used oh, it just totally escaped me. A pinking blade for my rotary cutter. So I have a Olfa rotary cutter, and I have a pinking blade that when I use it on the fabric, it's going to give me that pinked look really easily with the rotary cutter. Another thing, and we've talked about these before, but they are amazing. Marking on dark fabrics is always very difficult. So these are by Handy Quilter. They're iron off pencils. So this is going to mark white on a dark fabric. You can do your embroidery, your marking, whatever you're doing, put the iron on it, and then the marks disappear. And they are the best thing that I have found to mark on dark fabrics. So these are the Handy iron off pencils. And then the last thing, this is, we talked about this with Becky's project. This is a package of the Kimberbell towels. So when you buy it, again, you get the stripes and you get the polka dots. They're just great towels. They come in navy, red, yellow, aqua, a really pretty steel gray, and then a darker, more of a taupey color. And they're very versatile. There's a lot of different things you can do with them. And they come in a package of 2, so they're just fun to play with. So just some fun notions and different things that we've used in creating the projects that we have for you today. Our last design disc this month is also OESD. It is called Planted with Love by Sherry. I'm going to butcher her name, Goodry, I believe. It's a really fun, it's just a very happy spring kind of design. It has individual designs. It has some clever sayings. It has the seed packets. One of them is Peas Be Kind to Other, and it's a pea pod, which I'm super excited to stitch for my sister-in-law because my nephew loves peas, which is just crazy to me. But it is just a fun design disc that has a lot of clever ways that you can use it. Terry in our Littleton store stitched out this row of flowers on this dark kitchen towel. I like the way it looks on the dark fabric. It's kind of, it's kind of hard sometimes to know whether something's going to look good on dark or if it needs to be on light, but it really does look great on this darker colored towel. And then Becky in our Littleton store really did a fun project. She found this very large table runner at Walmart, and she used this daisy design. So the design itself is 3 daisies. She changed the size, she added it with the other one and rotated it so she could stitch it along the bottom of the table runner. So she did a lot of work on this in her software so she could get it to fit exactly in the table runner as she wanted it. So it's on this end of the table runner and on this end of the table runner. She said this is going to go on her table and will hang off the edges. So she'll have the daisies hanging off of the edge of the table. It's just really a very cute spring kind of design. And then the last project using the disc is also is an apron. Last month, Becky made an apron. She did a Irish St. Patrick's Day design on an apron that we using towels that we carry at the store, and I decided that this design actually warranted being used on an apron as well. The saying is, "Darling, you look radishing," which I just love. So these towels we carry in the store, they have the fringe on the top and the bottom of the towel. So I just took and turned down the fringe so it's along the top, it's also along the bottom, and then I bought a second towel to make the pocket. The pocket's a little bigger than I would normally make a pocket, but I needed it large so I could have the fringe on the top and then also the seed packet design on there. So these were just some really fun projects using Sherry Goodry's Planted with Love design. So thanks so much for joining us this month. We've really enjoyed being able to share all of our fun projects with you. Be sure and stop by any of our 4 locations and see the products that we have in the store and the samples. They will be in each of the stores for a week. And be sure and join us tomorrow. Lisa's going to be back with all of her So Fun projects as well. Thanks very much.